Madhava Kunja Bihari. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadasa Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Udapadagam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagar Jatam Sagagana Raghunathanvitam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sakitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Radha Krishna Padam Sagagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langedi Nitkripatam Aham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madam Shri Chaitanya Nama Vishpadaya Krishna Preta Padrishan Vijay Pataka Swami Namaha Chirpadaya Nityakapadane Gaurakata Damadaya Nagara Gramatarine Hare Krishna Kasturi Tilakam Lalata Patle Vakshastale Gosubha Nasagre Varamotikam Kartale Vano Karekanganam Sarvange Harichandanam Sulalitam Kantecha Muktabali Gopasri Pariveshtito Vijayate Gopala Chudamani Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Hare Krishna. Mataji, who is going to share the screen?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I can share.
Yes.
Okay, ma. Can I start?
Yes, Prabhu, Mataji is sharing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, we are into 4th canto, 18th chapter, verse number 1. So, the title is Maharaja Prithu milks the earth planet. As we saw in the 17th chapter, wherein the very wonderful Bhumi Stuti you all might have relished, but there is some continuation, as I told you in the previous class also. So in the first few verses also, the Bhumi prayers are continuing. So let us start with this one. So 4th canto, 18th chapter, verse number 1. Maitreya Vacha Ittam Prithu Abhishtuya. Maitreya Vacha Ittam Prathum Abhishtuya Rusha Praspurithadharam Punar Ahavani Vita Samstabhyatmanam Atmana. One more time I will read it. Maitreya Vacha Ittam Prathum Abhishtuya Rusha Praspurithadharam Punarahavani Bhita Samstabhyatmana Atmana. Synonyms.
Hare Krishna. Vasudha Mataji, you read the synonyms, and Naimisha Mataji the translation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Synonyms. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Maitreya Uvacha. The great saint Maitreya continued to speak. Ittam, thus, Prithum, unto King Prithu, Abhishtuya, after offering prayers, Rusha, in anger, Prasturita, trembling, Adharam, his lips, Punah, again, Aha, she said, Avani, the planet Earth, Bita, in fear, Samstabhya, after settling, Atmanam, the mind, Atmana, by the intelligence. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, can you hear me?
Yes, very much, ma. Read it.
Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. The great Saint Maitreya continued to address Vidura. My dear Vidura, at that time, after the planet Earth finished her prayers, King Prithu was still not pacified, and his lips trembled in great anger. Although the planet Earth was frightened, she made up her mind and began to speak as follows in order to convince the king. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you, ma. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so as we see here, Prithu Maharaj, incarnation of the Lord, he has come for a specific purpose because his father, Vena, has troubled and irreligious was prevalent. So the Brahmanas churned his thighs and body, and Prithu Maharaj and Archi came out. That is incarnation of Lakshmiji and Vishnu. So the people were suffering because of starvation and so many other problems. So they all had difficulties, and the reason was found out. Bhumi Devi is hiding everything, not releasing. So Prithu Maharaj got angry and he took his bow and arrow. And we saw that she took the form of a cow and she is asking for not to kill her. So at that time we had seen there were wonderful verses wherein she explains her position as well as praying about the glorification of the Lord. So after listening so much also, Prithu Maharaj was not convinced or pacified. So that's why Maitreya is addressing Vidura. There is going to be further some more prayers from Bhumi Devi. So as we see here, he is not pacified. Generally what we do, we try to convince whoever is refusing or getting angry. But when our efforts are not working, we will try to persuade them. I've heard the word persuade. Similarly, Bhumi Mata is trying to persuade the Lord Prithu Maharaj, because she could see Prithu Maharaj's lips were trembling and his anger was very visible. Now, generally, people get angry, they always swing their lips, and it will be always like that. I don't know how to express it. There are some, what is that? Scenes in the other thing. I cannot say that, how it is. So the lips will be trembling. So that way she could understand he is not yet pacified. But Mother Earth, she was frightened because she took a effort so much to convince, but the Lord is not pacified. But what she made up her mind now, no, I have to persuade now. So she further glorifies the Lord, and which is very interesting. Okay, moving on to verse number 2. Sanniyachabhihi bho manyum niboda savitam chatme. Sanniyachabhiho manyum niboda savitam chame. Tarishravitam chame. Sarvatah saram adhatte. Sarvatah saram adhatte. Yata madhukaro buddha. Yata madhukaro buddha. Hare Krishna. Translation. Sorry.
Hare Krishna, Shilpa Mataji.
Synonyms, translation.
Okay, Purport also you want us to read, Prabhuji?
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Shilpa Mataji, you read the synonyms, Shobha Mataji, the translation, and Barnali Mataji, the purport. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Danvat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, ma.
Saniyacha, please pacify. Abhibho, O king. Manyum, anger. Nibodha, try to understand. Shravitam, what is said. Cha, also. Me, by me. Sarvatah, from everywhere. Saram, the essence. Adatte. Yatha, as. Madhukaraha, the bumblebee. Buddha, an intelligent man. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Dandat Pranam Mataji and Prabhuji. Purport translation by His Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. My dear Lord, please pacify your anger completely and hear patiently whatever I submit before you. Please turn your kind attention to this. I may be very poor, but a learned man takes the essence of knowledge from all places, just as a bumblebee collects honey from each and every flower. Haribol, Dandavats. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
So here you can
Hare Krishna,
understand.
Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. There is no purport, Mataji, in this verse.
No, you can
Sorry,
read the next
Mataji.
one.
You can read the next one. Next.
Yes, yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat.
So, as we see here, Mother Earth is much more wise now. What does she say? My dear Lord, please pacify your anger completely. See, I'll tell you, anger comes in the person there are two ways to pacify that. People around can convince him and he can get pacified. Suppose if after telling so much, if he is not getting convinced, he has to pacify himself. How he has to pacify, this is very important. He has to apply his mind. How to apply his mind? He has to search for knowledge and utilizing his intelligence, he can get pacified. So the mind always agitates. So the anger comes from the mind. So naturally, when somebody is able to calm down, apply all their knowledge, and they can get calmed down too and pacified. See, I'll tell you, any decision which is made out of anger will be rampant loss. But whereas a decision made with calmness, coolness, and that will help to take a good decision. That's why here Mother Earth is telling and giving a wonderful example also. Adharam Maduram, we have heard about right now. So here, Madhumakhi. Madhumakhi, what does it do? It goes to various flowers. And in each and every flower, different quantity or different qualities of honey will be there, right? But what does it do? It collects it from all the places. And finally, what does it do? It gives the essence of it. That's why we approach the hive, honey hive, and take it out, right? So here also, Mother Earth is telling Prithu Maharaj, please take this knowledge from all places and try to apply it so that you can understand. So for that, you need to give a proper attention to my words. That is very important. So we always say that your kind attention, please. Same way. So please turn your kind attention to this. And what does she say? I am very poor. In what way she is poor? Now she is not poor, right? How she is poor? In front of the Lord, the anger has come. She is not able to pacify the Lord. That way she is poor, she feels. Clear? Hare Krishna. Verse number 3. Asmil loke atava mushmin. Asmin loke atava mushmin. Munibhistattvadarshibhihi. Munibhistattvadarshibhihi. Drishta yoga prayuktascha. Drishta yoga prayuktascha. Pumsam shreya prasiddhaye. Pumsam shreya prasiddhaye. It's very clear. Pumsam, the human being, shreya, good. Okay. So this way, this verse is going to talk more about the glorification and how she is going to handle it now. Asmin loke atava mushmin. So the duration of life, in the next life, always what happened? By the great sages, they understood the truth. So now also, here she is requesting to understand that same thing. Okay, let's get into the translation.
Hare Krishna, Barnali Mataji, you read the synonyms. Meenakshi Mataji, the translation, and Shobha Mataji, the purport. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranams, Prabhuji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Synonyms. Asmin, in this loke, duration of life, athava, or anusmin, in the next life, manubhihi, by the great sages, tattva, the truth, darshibhihi, by those who have seen it, drishta, prescribed, yoga, methods, prayukta, applied, cha, also, pumsam, of the people in general, sreya, benefit, prasiddhaya, in the matter of obtaining. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna, Ma.
Translation. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavat pranams. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada. to benefit all human society, not only in this life but in the next. The great seers and sages have prescribed various methods conducive to the prosperity of the people in general. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Pumsam Shreya Prasiddhaye. So that's a translation, starts with that. It says to benefit all human society. Not in this life, next life also. That means we have to be always get ready for the next life. The greater seers and sages have prescribed various methods conducive to the prosperity of people in general. So that means, what is real prosperity? We have to analyze after reading the purport. Okay, get into that. Purport.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams.
Hare
Purport
Krishna.
A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vedic civilization takes advantage of the perfect knowledge presented in the Vedas and presented by great sages and Brahmanas for the benefit of human society. Vedic injunctions are known as Shruti, and the additional supplementary presentations of these principles as given by the great sages are known as Smriti. They follow the principles of Vedic instruction. Human society should take advantage of the instruction from both from from both Shruti and Smriti. If one wants to advance in spiritual life, he must take these instructions and follow the principles. In Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, Srila Rupa Goswami says that if one poses himself as advanced in spiritual life but does not refer to the Shrutis and Smritis, he is simply a disturbance in society. One should follow the principle laid down in Shrutis and Smritis not only in one's spiritual life but in material life as well. As far as human society is concerned, it should follow the Manu Smriti as well, for these laws are given by Manu, the father of mankind. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare.
1 minute, Mataji, before moving to the next paragraph.
There's still more.
Yeah, just let us try to understand and move to the next paragraph. So, here Bhumi Devi starts about benefit of human society. As we see here, Vedic civilization means very simple. One has to take full advantage of the Vedic injunctions, what is explained. That is the real knowledge. That is the complete knowledge. Any other knowledge is always incomplete and it is not so perfect, it's imperfect. That's why one should take full advantage of the Shrutis. What's called a Shrutis. Then again, further, what happens? Those great acharyas, purvacharyas, when they go through this Vedic knowledge or when they go through the Vedic injunctions, they understand very well and they give it in a very palatable way for all of us so that we can follow the Vedic injunction. So those things are called as smritis. So those great sages, what they have done for us, that's called smriti. So what interestingly, the Samrata Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu says is, if somebody is able to read only the Shrutis and they are not following anything from the Purvacharyas, then it is not going to help him out. Because there will be misunderstanding, misgivings, and misinterpretations too, and definitely he will create a nuisance to the society. So this is what explained, and especially Rupa Goswami puts it very precisely. So Shruti is important as well as Smriti is also important. So Shruti is well supported or supplemented by Smritis, because understanding capacity of human in the Kali Yuga is very poor. We know that often we see that. So they cannot judge things, they will be always doing mistakes. So that's why the Bhagavatam shloka says, what is that? Anybody remembers? Mandaha Sumandamatayo. Right?
Yes.
Anybody remembers the beginning? Let me check.
Kaler dosho nijan rajan.
No, ma, not that.
No.
Very
I
good.
am conscious.
Very good. Okay. So that means this is a very clear indication we are not fit for that. That's why Rupa Goswami says very clearly, we should always read both the Shrutis and the Smritis. Then we can apply that knowledge and follow the Vedic injunctions precisely. Otherwise, we'll be doing all sort of mistakes only. So that's why material life is full of anxieties and full of desires too. So naturally, the society is really in a bad shape, and especially in the Kali Yuga, it is much more worse. So they should follow the Manusmriti. So Manusmriti means what? The father of mankind, Manu, right? That is Swayambhu Manu. Here it talks about. Swayambhu Manu has described it in detail after going through the Vedic injunctions. So one should follow it. That will help us for all of us. Okay, let's move on to the next paragraph.
Hello, Hare Krishna. Kripamai Mataji, you can read the purport. Hare Krishna.
Am I audible, Prabhuji?
Yeah, very much, ma.
In the Manusmriti, Hare Krishna, purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada.
Mataji, the very sentence is very strong. Very first sentence is very strong.
In the Manusmriti, it is stated that a woman should not be given independence, but be given protection by her father, husband, and elderly sons. In all circumstances, a woman should remain dependent upon some guardian. Presently, women are given full independence like men, but actually we can see that such independent women are no happier than those women who are placed under guardians. If people follow the injunctions given by the great sages, Shrutis and Smritis, they can actually be happy in both this life and the next. Unfortunately, rascals are manufacturing so many ways and means to be happy. Everyone is.
Mataji, 1 minute. So, as we see here, Manusmriti indicates very clearly what is that a woman should not be allowed alone and should not be given independence. The reason is simple. See, by nature, they cannot handle situations. And in the Bhagavad Gita also, it explains they are less intelligent. So there are 3 categories, no? What is that? Shriyo, Vaishya, Tata, Shudra, Epiga, Dhanti, Parangati. What does this look at? Mam hi partha, Yapashritya, Episyuhu, Papayonaya, Shriyo, Vaishya, Tata, Shudra, Epiyanti, Parangati. So these 3 categories are always less intelligent, and they have to be guided properly. Why? Because they do not know the Vedic injunctions and they cannot handle the situations. That's why Manu has codified very clearly, when the child is born, father has to take care of her. When she got married, the husband has to take care of her. When the husband is no more, then the mother should be taken care by the son. So there is a very clear indication women are always under the shelter of menfolk, and any amount of happiness they derive, it is always best possible in the society. For instance, when they are given some liberation, we can see how they are in a pathetic condition, helpless condition. I need not describe, because whenever you open the newspapers or any channel or any social media, everywhere this is the crying kids. Nowadays it is also child abuse is more prevalent. So all these things happen because we try to give them liberation and they want independence. This is impossible. So at any point of time they cannot. Why? Because there are 2 words in English. One is called gullible, the other word is vulnerable. Because again, Prabhupada says when a man and a woman are in one place, it is like keeping cotton and fire. So like that, here also we can say vulnerable. Vulnerable means they are succumbing to the situations. They will not be able to face the situations. They cannot withstand the situations. That's one vulnerable. Then gullible. Gullible is the one which is happening more because they believe straight away everything. Unfortunately, they never apply the mind and analyze it. Then after everything went wrong, they cry out. So what is this of it? It's not going to help. So women's independence is definitely a ruled out case. So that's why here Manu has very clearly mentioned not possible. Okay, can we continue?
Yes, Prabhuji. Unfortunately, rascals are manufacturing so many ways and means to be happy. Everyone is inventing so many methods. Consequently, human society has lost the standard ways of life, both materially and spiritually. And as a result, people are bewildered and there is no peace or happiness in the world. Although they are trying to solve the problems of human society in the United Nations, they are still baffled because they do not follow the liberated instructions of the Vedas, they are unhappy.
1 minute. Okay, as I was telling in the translation, prosperity, right? What sort of prosperity Prabhupada is writing? Material as well as spiritual. So, what happens when the smritis are not followed and when the Vedic injunctions are not followed? People try to work for all their sense gratification and they're increasing the same. So that's why the society is in a very bad shape. So if you see so, it's a bewildering situation now and they are not able to remain happy in spite of enjoying everything, the material things, because it's never ending. Because any happiness which is derived in the material world is always like that. It's going to be temporary and it will not eternally stay back. So when they try to solve the problems, it occurs again and again. And any effort to resolve it also never find a solution. So naturally, the society is facing lots of difficulties, and especially women are always in the center point. And people are trying to exploit the situation. As I told you, because of their nature, one is vulnerable, the other one is gullible. So, unless the society is well informed of the Vedic injunctions or the smritis by Manu, there cannot be any progress or any prosperity in this material world, both materially or spiritually too. So Vedas gives the knowledge, and the knowledge is distributed through authentic Purvacharyas, which is Smriti. So both should go hand in hand. Otherwise, the knowledge will be into a God. Yes. Can you continue?
Yes, Prabhuji. Two significant words used in this verse are asmin and anusmin. Asmin means in this life, and amusmin means in the next life. Unfortunately, in this age, even exalted professors and learned men believe that there is no next life and that everything is finished in this life. Since they are rascals and fools, what advice can they give? Still, they are passing as learned scholars and professors. In this verse, the word amusmin is very explicit. It is a duty of everyone to mold his life in such a way that he will have a profitable next life. Just as a boy is educated in order to become a happy later, one should be educated in this life in order to attain an eternal and prosperous life after death. It is therefore essential that people follow what is given in the Shrutis and Smritis to make sure that the human mission is successful. Thank you, Prabhuji, Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So the verse is talking about the prosperity, and in the purport, it is possible both materially and spiritually, provided they follow this smriti. And in this situation, one should understand the smritis guide the human being in this lifetime as well as in the next lifetime too also. How? I'll tell you. See, for instance, a person who is not adhering the Vedic injunctions or not bothered about the Vedas or the Shastras, naturally he will have no interest to go through the Smritis or the wonderful essence described of the Vedas by the Purvacharyas. So naturally, such a person life will be definitely in disturbance. Why? because he is neither following the Shruti nor following the Smriti. Because we should always be a follower. Why? Because there are wonderful spiritual leaders who have guided us in many things, and we have heard about so many pastimes in the Lord's activity and all the situations we have come across. Having read the stories or listened to the story, got the essence, one should apply in their life. If that is not the case, their knowledge is waste. So as we see here, Prabhupada always explains one point. When a jiva gets a human form, it should be very wise enough. How it can be wise? Two ways. One is by following the or learning the Shrutis and following the Smritis. If both are done, automatically the preparation for the next life is done very safe. That's why in this verse also, when they talk about the prosperity, they also talk about that. What is that? Asmin Amishmin. Asmin means current one, Amishmin means future. Clear? So that means these instructions are forever. So Vedas or the Shastras or the Smritis are not for one lifetime, for the lifetimes to come ahead. So one can easily understand any philosophical speculators or any scholars or any professors, they can talk so much hours together, but they cannot explain these intricacies of life. And getting the human form is much more valuable. And how it should be utilized, that can be done only from the instructions of the Shastras. So if they try to do something beyond, naturally they will be getting into a problem. Yes, Mataji? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, we can hear you, Prabhu.
Mataji, there is some sound more. Am I audible to you?
Yes, Prabhu, you are very much
Mataji.
audible.
Yes, Prabhuji, we
Okay,
can
please tell me when there is a problem. Huh?
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Because I am sitting in the deity hall in a second floor, so that I feel no disturbance will be there. But there are some noises, okay?
Yes, Prabhu, we'll let you know. Hare Krishna.
Verse
We can
number
hear
4.
you, Prabhu.
Yeah. Tana tishtati yah samyag. Tana
Tāna tishtati yah samyak.
1 minute, 1 minute.
Shilpa Mataji, Hare Krishna,
Mataji,
please mute
wait.
yourself.
Hare Krishna. Tana tishtati yah samyag. Upayan purva darshitan. Upayan purva darshitan. Avaraha shraddhayo petha. Upayan vindate anjasa. I'll repeat once again. Tana tishtati yah samyag. Upayan purva darshitan. Avarashadayo peta. Upayan vindate anjasa. Hare Krishna. Synonyms, translation for both.
Hare Krishna, now Kishori Mataji, you can read the synonyms. Krishabhanu Mataji, the translation, and I'll read the Hare Krishna.
I can't hear.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, you can't hear Prabhuji?
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, now Kishori Mataji, you read the synonyms. Rishabhanu Mataji, the translation, and I'll read the purport. Hare Krishna.
Now it's audible.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Pranam, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Those atishtani follows yaha, anyone who samyaka completely upayana principles purva formally drishtana instructed our inexperienced shraddha ya with faith upetah being situated upayan the fruits of activities vindate enjoys anjasa very easily. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna.
Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Dandat Pranam. One who follows the principles and instruction enjoyed by the great sages of the past can utilize these instructions for practical purpose. Such a person can very easily enjoy life and pleasures. Hare Krishna
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna. So before going to the purport, let us try to understand the translation. I want to say one thing again in the previous verse also. We are seeing it as Asmin and Amushmin. So this lifetime and the next lifetime. There is a wonderful sloka in the Bhagavad Gita wherein Krishna is explaining such a person will never be happy in this lifetime and the next life too. Because if they do not take up the Krishna consciousness. Because Krishna consciousness prepares one jiva to remain in blissful condition in this lifetime and the next time too also. So that means the Asmin and Amushmin is very important. One should be intelligent enough to utilize this Shruti and Smriti through the various acharyas. Okay. So translation, somebody can read it again.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada
Yeah.
Ki Jai. One who follows the principles and instructions
Yeah.
enjoined by the great sages of the past can utilize these instructions for practical purposes. Such a person can very easily enjoy life and pleasures.
Okay,
Purport
so
of the Prabhupada.
1 minute. What
Yeah.
does it say? One who follows the principles and instructions enjoined by the sages of the past can utilize these instructions for practical purpose. Such a person can very easily enjoy life and pleasure. So that's why I said earlier, so those who are intelligent enough, they will read the Shrutis through the Smritis. Then automatically they can apply what is there in the Vedic injunctions, because there will be practical examples of various acharyas, and the Smritis guide us how to handle it and how to make our lifetime happy, pleasure, and in the next lifetime too. Can we go to the purport, please?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, pranams.
Yeah.
Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The Vedic principles, Mahajano Vena Gata Sapanta, urge us to follow in the footsteps of great liberated souls. In this way, we can achieve benefit in both this life and the next, and we can also improve our material life. By following the principles laid down by great sages and saints of the past, we can very easily understand the aim of all life. The word avaraha, meaning inexperienced, is very significant in this verse. Every conditioned soul is inexperienced. Everyone is abodha jata, born a fool and a rascal. In democratic government, at the present moment, all kinds of fools and rascals are making decisions. But what can they do? What is the result of their legislation? They enact something today just to whimsically repeal it tomorrow. One political party utilizes a country for one purpose, and the next moment another political party forms a different type of government and nullifies all the laws and regulations. This process of chewing the chewed, puna punascharvitam charvanam, will never make human society happy. In order to make all human society happy and prosperous, we should accept the standard methods given by liberated persons. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Mataji, can you show from the beginning the purport? The word starts like this. The Vedic principles, Mahajano Yegata Sapantaha. So this is explained in the Bhagavatam very clearly. One should follow the footsteps of the previous acharyas. Anushthan. What is it called? Anushthan. One should follow those great Mahajanas. Mahajanas means they are the setting examples for the human society. So this is a popular verse, you all might be aware of it. Na? Swayambhu Naradaka Shambhu. Anybody remembers it in full? Let me see how they are telling this sloka. Anybody remembers it full? I think it comes in 6.4.20. Mataji, can you take it out? Yamaraj is instructing his subordinates about this. Swayambhu Naradaga Shambhu. Kumara Kapilo
6:20,
Mantu.
Prabhuji. This 6:20 you said?
Maybe 2 shlokas it will be, I think so, together.
Oh, okay.
You can type it in the Google also. Swayambhu Naradaga Shambhu.
No, Prabhuji, it is
Kumara Kapilo
6320.
Mantu.
Prabhuji, it is 6320, Prabhuji, 6320.
Oh, sorry. I said 4 wrongly. Thank you. So one of you can read the verse, please. It's a very, very interesting verse. It says Swayambhu Naradaha Shambhu, then says Kumara Kapilo Manu, then Prahalada Janaka Vishnu, then Bali Baya Saki Bayam. So these are the 12 Mahajans who set the standards of it. Got it, Mataji? 6320, huh?
It's not Prabhu 6:20.
No. You can Google it out. No?
Prabhuji. Swayambhu Narada Shambhu Kumara Kapilo Manuhu Prahlado Janako Bhishmo Bali
Vayasaki. Vayasaki Vayam Vibhu.
Vayam.
Vayasaki Vayam. Vibhu nahi. Sorry. Vayasaki Vayam. So can you read the translation?
Yes, Prabhuji. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Lord Brahma, Bhagavan Narada, Lord Shiva, the 4 Kumaras, Lord Kapila, the son of Devahuti, Swayambhuva Manu, Prahlad Maharaj, Janak Maharaj.
Swayambhu. Mataji, always you have to say, Manu means, many always say Swayambhu. It's not Swayambhu. Swayambhu denotes about Brahmaji. Swayambhu means his son, Manu. Okay? Swayambhu Manu, we have to pronounce that.
Swayambhuva Manu, Prahlad Maharaj, Janak Maharaj, grandfather Bhishma, Bali Maharaj, Shukadev Goswami, and I myself know the real religious principles. My dear servants, this transcendental religious principle, which is known as Bhagavad Dharma, or surrender unto the Supreme Lord and love for Him, is uncontaminated by the material modes of nature. It is very confidential and difficult for ordinary human beings to understand. But if by chance one fortunately understands it, he is immediately liberated, and thus he returns home back to Godhead.
Okay. So this is a reference for this verse, what we are reading now. Mataji, can we go to the today's purport? Are you able to have darshan of the Lord here?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Okay, getting back to this verse now. So what does it say? Mahajano ye gata swapantaha. Follow the footsteps of the great liberated soul. As we saw earlier, so liberation is possible only who follows the footsteps of these great Mahajanas, because they have been a living example for all of us. In this way, we can receive the benefit of the Shruti as well as the Smriti. If somebody tries to read only Shruti, they will fall into ditch, because, as I told you, the misinterpretation and the misgivings, everything will make them down. And automatically they cannot really understand and follow and get liberated from this situation. So, the words of Avaraha means inexperienced. Why? Because every jiva, when it comes to this material world, it is full of ignorance. Naturally, it is full of inexperience. Unless and until they read the Shruti and read the Smritis, they cannot get this. So, the real situation, when the jiva comes, it's full of ignorance, and it's also mentioned, there is one important thing is abojata. Abojata means the rascals, and it is mentioned fools. Fools, as we say that, it is ignorance only. Actually, they cannot understand. When they try to behave with foolishness or ignorance, they become rascals. So, especially in this present world of democratic governments, right? Prabhupada says democracy, no? So, this government is bringing different type of laws and regulations. And unfortunately, none of them are based on these Purvacharyas or the Mahajanas. So these are all concocted laws, and it is aiming at sense gratification and economic development. Such a situation will definitely doom the society, will not give liberation to them. And especially Prabhupada criticizes when another government comes. There is another school of thought. And they try to again manipulate or rearrange or create new laws and regulations. Again, it is going to definitely affect the society further. So, any repealing of the rules and regulations from the Shastras and Smriti is always dangerous. So, this is what it is explained here. One party is doing one thing, another party comes and changes another thing. Altogether, the situation is very bad. Mataji, can we move further? This process of chewing the chewed is also a very important verse. Many of you might know, no? How many of you heard about this? Punah punaha charvita charvanana. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji, we have heard, Prabhuji.
Can you pick up that verse? It's very interesting. Prahlad Maharaj instruction. Yesterday, in the Prahlad Charitra also, we were discussing the same verse. Once you type it, automatically the verse will come. Google. Chewing the chewed. That means they repeatedly try to exploit sense gratification with the material things. But unfortunately, it will never give them pleasure or it will never give them anything. So naturally, they get frustrated and get dejected. Very good.
7:5:30.
Yeah, this also to be memorized. Okay, I will read it out. Shri Prahlad Uvacha Matirna Krishne Swatasaso. Mataji, can you make it English one? Little more up.
It's in the chat, Prabhuji. Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
thank you. Matirna Krishne Paratasvato Va Mito Pipatyeta Graha Pratanam Adhanta Gopi. This word is very important. Adhanta Gopir Vishatan Tamishram. Tamishram means in the Tamoguna. That means they are trying to enjoy the material world in the ignorance mode. And Adhanta Gopir, though they are entering into the deep well which is full of darkness. Vishatam means the material enjoyment or sense gratification. And what it is compared to? Punah punaha charvita charvanana. So, when we read this translation, we can understand how foolishly people are wasting their wonderful human form of life. Can we read the translation? One of you can read it, Mataji.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Prahlada Maharaja replied, because of their uncontrolled senses, persons too addicted to materialistic life make progress towards hellish conditions and repeatedly chew that which is already chewed. Their inclinations toward Krishna are never aroused, either by the instruction of others, by their own efforts, or by a combination of both. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So here, what the translation says, either by the instructions of others, what does that mean? That is called Shruti. And by their own efforts, that is called going through this Smritis. Sorry. The first one is instructions of others is Smritis, and their own efforts is called as Shruti. So one should always read the Shrutis through the Smritis. That's very important. So both are very, very important. That's a combination of both. They have to utilize it. See, all these things are created by the Lord Himself when we talk about the Shrutis. And when it is explained by the various Acharyas or the Mahajanas, those who have lived as an example for all of us, we should capitalize it. So this is what it is explained here. And especially the human form, when they get the senses are unabated. Unabated cannot be stopped. It is so much involved in the sense gratification. So it is uncontrolled because it is not channelized. That's why Prabhupada says, dovetail your senses and mind towards Krishna. Automatically one can definitely come to the status of Shuddha Sattva. So here also, uncontrolled senses, person who are addicted means they are fond of it. See, I'll tell you, the word addiction is so common now, especially the social media and the modern gadgets are utilized for sense pleasure, unfortunately. Though there are so many wonderful things on the spiritual side, but people never use it. Maybe a few percentage of the entire population may utilize in the spiritual purpose, and majority of them utilize it for sense gratification and addiction of certain things. So it will definitely doom the society. That's why we are able to see so much of chaos and confusions in the society. There is no respect, there is no honor. So any sort of a progress in their life is miserable. So, as it is said, chewing the chew. I will give you a very good example for the chewing the chew. How many have taken the sugarcane juice? When you go to a small shop, first he inserts the sugarcane sticks, right? Inserts inside a machine. He crushes it, right? And we thought he is going to throw it, but he will not leave it. He will brought it back and again insert the same stick, again crushing it. He keeps on crushing to take the juice out of it. This is called chewing the chew. He will not leave it. But in our lifetime, what we are doing, we are trying to give pleasure to the senses, and the senses are uncontrollable, and people are completely immersed into this material sense gratification again and again and again, and their lifetime is wasted thoroughly, and they are not ready for the next life. The human form is meant for preparation of the next life, but they are miserable. So their inclinations towards Krishna is not aroused at all, because they are not in contact with any Krishna conscious devotees. Naturally, they will be in trouble. So they are not able to follow the instructions. They are not able to follow the instructions of the acharyas too, and they never take any effort on the spiritual side. Unfortunately, their life is doomed. So that's why Mahajana Ekato Pantaha. That's one. And this one is talking about the Puna Puna Charvita Charvanana. So again and again they will be taking birth in this material world, and their cycle of birth and death will never end. So they will be in the samsara sagara forever. Can we go to today's purport, Mataji? Mataji, can we? So the process of chewing the chew, will never make human society happy. In order to make them all happy and prosperous, we should accept the standard methods given by the liberated persons. So this is a very important thing. And we have got so many wonderful references in the Mukunda Mala also, wherein Kulasekar Alvar completely condemns the mind and the senses, and he says, let me not focus on these things. I will read out one verse quickly. You can get into that. How to guard ourselves from these situations. This is verse number 24, Mukunda Mala. Madraksham Krishna Punya, Madraksham Kshini Punyan Kshanamapi Bhavato Bhakti Hinan Padabje Ma Shushusham Shravyabandham Tavacharitam Apasyanyat Akhyanajatam Masmasham Madhavatvamapi Bhuvanapate Chetasa Anu Vanan Ma Bhuva Ma Bhuvam Tvat Saparya Vyatikara Rahito Janma Janmantarepi. Mataji, can you read the translation of this? We have to avoid it. Mukundamala, Kulasekar Alvar says to avoid this. And what we read is today is follow. So what we have to avoid is mentioned here. Can you read the translation?
Hare Krishna.
Louder.
Hare Krishna translation. O Madhava, please do not let me even glance at those whose pious credits are so depleted that they have no devotion for your lotus feet. Please do not let me be distracted from listening to the worthy narrations of your pastimes and become interested in other topics. Please, O Lord of the universe, let me pay no attention to those who avoid thinking of you, and let me never be unable to serve you in some menial way birth after birth. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. 4 points are mentioned. I will tell it in short. The very first point, what does he say is, those who have lost punya, those who do not have any God consciousness, let me not glance at them at all. That means those who are not at all connected to Krishna consciousness, right? Those who are completely aversion towards God consciousness, we have to not look at them at all. That's one. Second thing is, let me not distracted. So whenever we go to the katha, we are getting distracted, right? So here Kulasekara says, please let me not get distracted from your wonderful nectarian katha. Generally in ISKCON temples, whenever we go for the Bhagavatam session in the morning 8 o'clock, what happens to many of them, those who are sitting in the front or the back, morning 8 a.m. They wake up 4 o'clock and get to the Mangalarti, everything, chanting, everything. And 8 a.m. what happens to them in the class?
They are dozing, Prabhu.
Who said that? Who said that? Who said that? Please repeat again.
They are dozing, Prabhu.
Yeah, Shilpa. Yes, yes. So this is what here Kulasekara says, let me not doze. Let me not get distracted from the nectarian stories of the Lord. Okay, this is point number 2. Third point, he says, if somebody is not paying attention to Krishna or Krishna Katha, or avoid thinking of Krishna, let me not give attention to that. That means it is a double negative. That means always look for devotees and never look for non-devotees. So he says, let me not pay attention to those who avoid thinking. There are lots of atheists, there are lots of people who are aversion to God. Such a person, we should not pay attention. We should be away from them. We should not give attention to them. Then the fourth one, he says, let me never unable to serve. That means even if we are getting old, even our body is really troublesome or difficult, but our service to Krishna should not be stopped. This is what he prays to you. Here he says, even a menial seva also. See how humble he is. This is what important. See, whenever there is a festival, people are rushing to the yatra leader. I want to do this service, Prabhu, I want to. So like that, they choose it. But we should not choose it. That's what here Kulasekara says, never choose it. Even if it is a menial seva, pray to the Lord, let me not suffer from anything to serve that. So we are never unable to serve. That means I should always serve you. So these are the 4 points which is negative and he is making it positive. Okay. Hare Krishna. Granth Shrimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Now it's time for questions and.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, what was this last verse that we just heard?
24. Mukundamala 24.
Mukundamala 24. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Wonderful class, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
All glory to Srila Prabhupada. I am in the temple. I thank here Radha Krishna, Lalita Vishaka, Jagannath Baldev Subhadra, and Gaura Nitai. You all had darshan, right? You want to show once again?
Prabhuji,
Yes, Prabhu,
please
yes,
show the
Prabhu.
deities, Prabhuji.
One more.
Prabhuji, please.
One more minute.
Please show the deities, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Hare Bol.
Hare
Hare Krishna. Hare
Jai
Krishna.
Jagannath.
Okay.
Jai
Chennai, okay.
Jai
Hare
Jagannath.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Radha Krishna, Lalita Vishaka.
Hare Krishna.
Lalita
Hare
Vishaka,
Radha Krishna,
Gaurani
Lalita,
Nityananda.
Jai.
Gauranga.
Gauranita ki jai.
Gauranga.
Narasimha Bhavan
Ki jai.
Wonderful temple, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so
Chennai.
much.
Which temple is this, Prabhu?
Chennai.
Chennai.
Hare
Chennai.
Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much,
Narasimha
Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Today
Hare
you are
Krishna. Thank you,
getting
Prabhuji.
double bonus. One is
Yes,
Bhagavatam
yes,
class.
Prabhu.
Really,
Yes,
Prabhu.
very
After
nice,
Narasimha
Prabhuji.
Chaturdashi, really,
Yes,
it is a
Narasimha
blessing.
Thank you.
Narasimha Dev is
Yes.
So
blessing
much.
us.
Blessing, yes. Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
This temple is facing the sea,
Yes.
Indian Ocean.
Okay.
Sorry, not
Prabhuji.
Indian Ocean, Bay of Bengal. Sorry. This temple is facing the Bay of Bengal.
Once more, Narasimha deity, Prabhuji.
Sorry, ma?
Narasimha deity, can you please show us that
There is
Jagannath
no,
Narasimha deity?
yeah, there it's a
Once
small.
more. Very sorry.
One minute, I'll make it close up. I cannot do and touch it.
Yes, correct, I understand.
You're able to see?
Jagannath.
Yes.
Yes, Prabhu.
On the
Yeah,
left side of
Jagannath.
Jagannath, on the left side of Jagannath, Lakshmi Narasimha.
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 Thank you, Prabhuji. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Any questions, any doubts, any comments?
Krishna Prabhuji, pranams Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Krishnamurti Prabhu, am I right?
Prabhuji, yes Prabhuji.
Tell me,
Prabhuji,
Prabhu. Yeah.
after hearing the scriptures,
Ah.
especially in Kali Yuga, nowadays, but Kali Yuga is nowadays. So what we are facing in India now, yeah, to what extent we will be concentrate like this, Prabhuji? Is it
Yes.
possible for us?
Yes,
So it is
yes.
a great, and then if you are thinking, be in Krishna consciousness, chanting, hearing classes, and all things were going on. But the environment, outer environment, if you close, if you stop, then it will attack like anything.
Okay.
So how
Prabhu,
we can overcome all these things,
okay,
Prabhuji?
I'll tell you. Prabhu. See, I'll tell you. We have heard about the 4 type of varna and 4 type of ashramas, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
Sorry, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudras, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
And the ashramas is Brahmacharya, Grihasthasrama, then Vanaprastham, then Sannyasa.
Sannyasa.
The Sannyasa is not recommended in the Kali Yuga.
Oh, Prabhuji.
Okay, then Vanaprastham, those who are above 50, they can engage that at least 15 hours, 18 hours, or 20 hours in a day. I am talking on the higher side. Okay, let me see. 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours can utilize it in the Krishna conscious activities by attending the morning Mangalarti, then doing the chanting for 2 hours, and Bhagavatam listening 1 hour, and reading Bhagavatam 2 hours, and reading Bhagavad Gita, and always go to the temple nearby, serve the Lord. So like that, we can utilize more time in Krishna consciousness once we cross 50. When in the Grihasthasram also, one can engage his wife, children, and he has to practice and he has to set an example. As I told you now, we follow the Mahajanas and the children will follow us. So this is the way we have to set an example. Automatically, majority of our lifetime will be with Krishna conscious activities. Am I right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Otherwise, as we stay in home and with children and grandchildren, these things may be difficult. Unless you set an example to them, it is not possible, because the Bhagavatam and the Shastra very clearly explain one should retire from the Grihasthasram, confirmed. They cannot continue beyond 50. But nowadays situation are so convenient. After 60 at least one should get ready for this. So Vanaprastha means they need not go to the forest or live. In olden days they used to do it, but now it is not possible. That's why Prabhupada has given a wonderful idea. Go and live near a wonderful Dhamma or the Divya Desham. For instance, if somebody is afford to stay near Vrindavan, near Mayapur, near Srirangam, near Udupi, near Tirupati. So go and serve the temples nearby regularly. Keep your time mostly engaged in serving the temple and the devotees who come over there. Is it possible?
Okay, yes, possible, Prabhuji. Mindset, anything, everything will be, we can. It is determination must be within ourselves.
Very good. You said rightly, Krishnamurti Prabhu.
Oh,
You are having full determination. I can see you are attending all the classes. So we pray we all get this sort of a firm determination and conviction to Krishna consciousness, so that we all progress in Krishna Bhakti.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare
So
Krishna.
anyhow, I am rendering. So I will take much more initiation in this. I will
Okay.
take. So
Thank you.
definitely, I will try. This is not possible. It is possible for me. Oh, of
Thank
course.
you. Okay,
Okay.
that's it. That should be the spirit. That should be
Okay.
the spirit.
Okay. It is possible. It is possible. I will do, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay.
Hare
Any other?
Krishna.
Any
Thank
other
you so
questions?
much. Anybody has any questions?
Prabhuji, this is a temple is situated in Tiruvanmiyur, Prabhuji.
It's not Thiruvanmiyur. It's on the Injambakam Road. It's called as ECR Road, East Coast Road.
Oh, easier.
East Coast Road.
Akkarai, sir, Akkarai.
Akkarai, exactly. That's the place. You're from Chennai?
No, Prabhuji. I was born in Tamil, but I am in Kanyakumari now. Thank you
Oh,
for joining.
you are from Kanyakumari. Oh, fortunate, very fortunate. There is also a temple. There are also devotees around, right? Kanyakumari.
Tirvattar temple is there.
Tirvattar, no. In addition to the ISKCON center is there, no?
ISKCON center in Nagarkoil.
Nagarkoil, okay.
Nagarkoil.
Wonderful message. Wonderful. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Yeah, let us pray. Let us pray. First of all, His Holiness Jayaprakash Maharaj good health for all of us. As Krishnamurti Prabhu said, we should increase our Krishna conscious activities more in our life and progress in Krishna Bhakti. Let's all chant twice Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare,
Rama Hare
Rama
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Rama Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, thank you
Hare
so much
Rama,
for the
Hare Rama,
DT
Rama
darshan,
Rama,
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you
Hare
so much,
Krishna,
Prabhuji, for the very
Hare
beautiful
Krishna. Hare
darshan.
Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank
Hare
you, Prabhu.
Krishna.
Thank you.
Vancha
Hare Krishna.
kalpatarubhyasya
Vancha
Tubheva
kalpatarubhyascha
Chapatitanam,
kapatitanubhyo
Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha.
Nam Pavanebhyo
Shri Vaishnava
Vaishnavibhyo
Ki
Namo
Jai, Srila
Namaha.
Vrinda
Prabhupada
Koti
Jai, Srila
Vaishnava
Prabhupada
Vrinda ki
Ki
Bhagavatam.
Jai,
Jai,
Srila
Jai
Prabhupada
Srila
ki
Prabhupada
Jai,
Ki Jai,
Grantaraj
Jai Shri
Bhagavatam
Prabhuji,
ki
Grantaraj
Jai.
Bhagavatam Ki Jai.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Pranam.
So much,
Krishna,
Prabhuji.
Hare
thank you, Prabhuji,
Hare
thank
Krishna
you,
to all devotees.
Hare
thank
Krishna.
you,
Thank you,
Mataji, Hare
Mataji.
Thank you,
Krishna,
Prabhu. I'll
thank
end the class.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you
for
for
the
the
darshan,
darshan,
Prabhu.
Prabhu.